everybody, I'm Alex from Fresh Hands. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I know you've seen, we've been putting a lot of smoking videos out there, but that's not all we do in this household. We definitely cook things a little bit differently. So one of the things that we've been wanting to check out for a while is an Instapot. So this literally just came in the mail. We're going to do an unboxing for you. We're going to show you guys how to cook ribs in this. We had some ribs lying around, so we figured why not just try them in the Instapot. It's pretty popular out there right now. We'll kind of provide you with our own twist, and then we'll just we'll tell you what we think of them. So open this thing up. It's a pretty big box. This is the 10-in-1 Instapot. I believe an 8-quart. So there's the box. So yeah, you can see the model's the Ultra 180. It's made for a 110 outlet, 8-quart capacity. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what's in here. It's another box. Here we go. So yeah, look at that. 70% Rapid Plus, blah, blah, blah. Cool. I have no idea what it comes with. So literally saw it on Amazon, decided to go set it up. So looks like you get some user manuals and maybe a little bit of a like cookbook or something. Piece of foam. And here it is. Nothing else in the box there. All right. Let's see what you get with this thing. All right. Wow. It's fancy looking and big. Definitely wasn't expecting that to be quite as big, but I guess that would be good to know what 8 quarts looks like. So let's see. All right. There's the top. Little pressure release valve. It's quite neat. And then here looks like some measuring cups and tools. A little warning sheet. Yeah, basically telling you not to do anything stupid with it. Yeah, and then there's this rack that goes in there. And this rack, the way I understand it, is these sit in here, and then you can basically put a bed of some kind of liquid or something to basically steam your food. So these are kind of neat, and it'll hold your food up out of that liquid. So definitely going to be using that with the ribs. And then just a liner. All right. Ooh. Definitely be cautious. There's a piece of paper underneath this, so don't just go start using it right away. So yeah, it looks like that's it. Everything that's in there. And so it looks like you've got a pretty nice little command center here. So yeah, I think we're gonna put it on the saute mode to get it heated up, and then we'll go over to manual mode. We'll set it up, and everything I've read seems to be about 20 to 25 minutes for ribs, so we'll kind of take that approach with it. But we got to clean this thing out first, so we'll clean this out, and then we'll bring you guys back when we're ready to start cooking in this thing for the first time. All right, y'all. We did the initial break-in on the Instapot a little while ago, so now we're ready to actually do a cook on this thing, and what we're going to do first is ribs. So, as you can see here, I've got a set of St. Louis ribs, picked them up from Costco. We essentially took that membrane off of the back of it, and then we used mustard as a binder, and then threw on some of that awesome Angelo's rub that you've seen me use in some of the other videos. If you want a tutorial on that, I'll put a link to our ribs video in the description below, but that's basically how we set these up for seasoning. And I cut it in half just so that I can put them into the pot a little bit easier. You'll see some other videos out there where folks just curl them around the inside of the pot. I just figured it's easier to cut them in half. Maybe I'm an amateur at this, I don't know. Well, I am a bit of an amateur with this one. So anyways, To use the Instapot, according to the directions, you need at least 2 cups of liquid in there. So I'm going to do my own little mixture, and you may or may not like this mixture, but I'm going to go ahead and take an attempt at this. So we're going to go, let's run and flip that around so you can see cups. Let's just see. So the first thing I'm going to do is beer, and we're in Texas, so you got to use the national beer of Texas, Lone Star. So we'll open that up. You got to take a little bit of a sip just to make sure it's okay, right? And then we'll just fill that up. Got a little bit of a spill going there, but we'll have to make up for that party foul a little bit later. All right. The next thing that I want to add is, since we're not going to be smoking these on the smoker the whole time, I just want to add a little bit of liquid smoke. All of you barbecue purists are going to just be freaking out. Trust me, it pains my heart so badly to have to use liquid smoke in here, but we're going to do it for the sake of the ribs. So we'll just go ahead, and you don't need a whole bunch in there. I'm going to put just a little bit in. The next thing we're going to do is a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I actually do this a lot in my wraps on my ribs, so I think it is an awesome addition. So just put a little bit of that in there. And then I'm also going to add some orange juice. A lot of folks will use apple juice. I just happen to have orange juice sitting around, so it's high pulp. It's the only way to drink it, right? We'll complete our 2 cups with that right there, just like that. And then something I always do in my wraps anyways, I always add a little bit more of my seasoning. I'm not sure if it's going to make any big difference here, but you may as well just put a little bit in there. And then we'll just kind of whisk that together there. Just get it all nice and blended together. That should be fine. Okay. We'll bring you guys around to the other side here so you can see how to start this Instapot up. It's so easy, like anybody could figure out how to do it, but we'll bring you around to the other side and show you how we get this thing started up. All right, y'all. We went ahead and preheated our liquid that we had mixed together, put our rack inside of this Instapot, and now we're ready to pressure cook these ribs. So the first thing we're gonna do is take these ribs, and I'm just gonna kind of situate them in here. Ooh, whoa. Of course, and not grab the rack. There we go. Half a rack there. Half a rack there. It's kind of a bit of a balancing act. And then I'm going to put the top on. All right. And so now it's a really easy approach to get this thing to go. So you can see we were on saute mode. Well, now we want to go up to pressure cook mode. So we'll select pressure cook, and then we'll select the time, and we're going to do this for about 22 minutes. Oop. Okay. 22 minutes. And then we'll do high pressure. And no delay, and keep warm on. So, okay. So now all we have to do is press start, and we should be good to go. This particular model auto locks it into pressure cooking mode. So this thing's already engaged, and now what we'll do is we'll just let this thing go until the alarm goes off. When it's done cooking, we're gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes, and then we'll do our pressure release, and we'll pull the ribs out, we'll sauce them, and then we'll put them out on the smoker. I know this is supposed to be an Instant Pot review or cook, but you know, you've got to do something to sauce those ribs, so we're gonna just put them on the smoker. So we'll catch you guys back when this thing's done. We got our ribs out of the Instapot, and just take a look at how they look. They do look good. You can definitely see, I mean, that bone's ready to come out. They're nice and tender. We want to add some sauce to them. That'll add some flavor, and it'll really help us with the color. So what I've got here is a little bit of Head Country's barbecue sauce. That's my latest kick that I'm on right now. They do a pretty good job over there, so big shout out to them. Great barbecue sauce. And I'm just going to kind of paint these ribs with some of that sauce. So just go ahead and get a nice layer on. Don't want to go too thick. I'm not a wet ribs kind of guy. And when you do this, you could throw these in the oven, around 300 or so, 250, somewhere in that range, just to get this to tack up a little bit. But that's, you don't have to have a smoker. I'm just using a smoker because I'm actually cooking some other ribs on my other smoker, which you can go check out our channel for that video as well. And I like to, when I'm putting the sauce on the ribs, I like to paint the bones too. That kind of just gives them a nice look so they don't look so white and bad. So, okay. So these are painted up nicely. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take these out and put them on the grill. We'll show you how we do that real quick. Look at these ribs. We went ahead and painted them with some barbecue sauce and we're ready to throw them on the smoker. So I've got the YS 1500 here. Go ahead and throw these on. Now you can see I've got 2 racks on there already, but the great thing about this grill is that we've got plenty of room. So we'll just go ahead and throw them over here on this side. Take a nice look at that. Look pretty good. They're gonna get a little bit of smoke on them. Now remember, we're not going to do this for very long. We're just going to let that barbecue sauce kind of tack up on the ribs. So I don't foresee this taking any longer than about 15 minutes. And you'll see that this is much quicker. I think we've spent maybe a grand total of 30 minutes on this cook. So you can definitely see where there's an advantage to the Instapot. The ultimate test, of course, is do they taste good? So we'll let you know what we think of that, and we'll show you kind of our synopsis. All right, y'all, our first cook on the Instapot is kind of getting drawn to a close. So let's take a look at the ribs here. Been on for 15 minutes or so. You can see that barbecue sauce is set up kind of nicely there. Go ahead and get these off, and they're just ready to fall apart. They're very, very tender. All right, so that's gonna do the cooking portion of these. Now remember, you don't have to bring them out on a smoker and do that last bit on the smoke. If anything, the meat's probably not really even absorbing the smoke. I just did it because we had the smoker going for another cook, but you could do this in your oven. You could do this on another grill. If you had a propane grill, you could certainly do it on that. The point is just to get it on some heat so that it'll help that barbecue sauce tack up. And you don't have to have barbecue sauce. If you like the way they're seasoned when they come out, you don't have to do that either. So you've got all kinds of options here. We're by no means experts on the Instapot yet, but we're just giving this a try. So let's bring these inside and we'll give them a taste. All right, guys, we're ready to cut into these Instapot ribs. But before we do that, let's just recap what we did. We put that thing on saute mode and brought up our basic liquid mixture up to a nice hot temperature. And remember what we did was we put a little bit of beer, mix it with some orange juice and some apple cider vinegar, put a little bit of our seasoning in there and some of that liquid smoke to try to get a little bit of that smoky flavor if you don't have a grill or a smoker to cook these on. And then what we did was we put them on pressure mode for about 22 minutes, cooked them. When that came to an end, we let them sit in the pot for about 15 minutes. Then we sauced them with our Head Country barbecue sauce, put them out on our smoker, which you don't have to do. And then we brought them inside and we let them rest for about 10 minutes. So now they're ready to cut into. So let's dig in. Give you one last look at those. Remember, we cut them in half just to fit into the pot better. Nothing crazy like that. And I don't know, let's go left side, which would be your right. So for those of you that don't cut these things on a regular basis, I always like to flip them over because then you can just follow that bone. Makes it really easy. All right. Okay. So you can see you get that kind of that gray coloring. Oh, here, let's flip that around for you guys. You get that kind of gray coloring. That's 100% what you would expect to see if you weren't cooking it on a smoker. If you're cooking it on a smoker, you'd see a lot of pink going through there because you'd be getting, basically the reaction that happens inside that smoker that develops what they call the smoke ring. So without further ado, let's go ahead and try this. We'll be testing for the bite here too, which I'll show you if we get it. Definitely 100% taste the rub coming through. You get that spice. That Angelus has a nice little bit of a bite in your throat. Pretty good. You definitely don't taste any smoke really, which is exactly what you'd expect. I mean, I can taste a little bit from that liquid smoke, but you're not going to get it like you do on a pellet smoker or even something like a Big Green Egg or an offset smoker. But I'd say for doing them in, when we start talking about a 30 to 40 minute cook versus a 5-hour cook, which is actually what we're doing on the smoker right now, I'd say it's pretty good. It's definitely not a replacement, but if you're looking for a quick meal, it's not bad. And also notice the tenderness. That's about the perfect tenderness. If I was cooking for a crowd, I can tell you I would probably cook them a little bit more, but if you were like competition cooking, you look for that bite mark. You don't want the whole thing to come off when you bite it, and you certainly don't want to have to tug and gnaw on the bone. This is just about perfect because the meat just kind of breaks away when you apply a little bit of pressure. So, I mean, that's a great bite right there. But overall, I mean, they taste great. I would definitely cook these for friends and family. I hope you guys go out there and try this. And until then, happy cooking.